What's up everyone, my name is Mike and welcome back to my channel. And this weekend was a very special one because I got my second drop and I got the Wonder Woman DC CoverGirl Series 2. This is an uncommon. I got number 7,320 of the 10,777 available. Now I'm super excited to have gotten another drop. It's taken me a long time. It's a long time coming. As I said before, November 10th, 2021 was my first drop that I ever got and my only drop up until this point. And that was a special one. That was the Iron Man Golden Moments, and I'm super proud to have gotten that one. And as I said before, that was my first drop I ever tried. I got it, and I thought I was smooth sailing from here on out. I was gonna get tons of drops, and that didn't happen. So finally, I get my second drop almost 3 months later. And to be honest, it's not necessarily a drop that I was really excited about. If you saw my previous video about price predictions for these CoverGirls, you would have seen that it wasn't something I was super excited about. I wasn't even making really serious plans to be able to purchase them in the aftermarket. That being said, in that video, I highlighted 2 of the 4 collectibles in that series that I might want to get, depending on where their prices sat at the floor when the market opened. One of those was Wonder Woman. The other one being Harley Quinn, only because it was the ultra rare in the series. So there's 2 items in here that really kind of interest me, if anything. And this is the Wonder Woman and the Harley Quinn. Now the Wonder Woman hasn't been seen in the DC CoverGirls series. We've only seen Wonder Woman in the Artist Alley series, and that might cause this demand for this Wonder Woman to increase a little bit. Yet we don't see it as a first edition or a first appearance. That's the downside to this. So really, my number 1 choice in this series would have been Wonder Woman, and I'm happy to have gotten her. Now the reason why Wonder Woman was my number 1 choice of this series is because we've only seen one other iteration of Wonder Woman, and it wasn't a CoverGirl Series 1 like we've seen with 2 other collectibles in this series, because CoverGirl Series 1 already saw Superwoman and Batgirl. So this Series 2, repeating those previous 2 collectibles, I just wasn't interested in having another one. Not that I even collected the Series 1 in the first place. So this is where it's difficult for me to commit to one of these purchases in the aftermarket because I'm more so interested in those first appearance, first edition tags. I think these are all passes for me unless I see one very much below my price prediction for that short term. But this is the first iteration of Wonder Woman in a more realistic fashion, as the first one was the DC Artist Alley version of it. It was more cartoony, and this is actually the first realistic version that we see of Wonder Woman on the app. So this is really the main reason why I was excited about possibly getting Wonder Woman, and it turns out with that blind box drop, I get the one that I exactly wanted. Now I also said in that video that if I did get something on the drop, I would probably flip it right away. And even if I do pick one up, it's going to be a short flip. I'm not going to hold it for the long term. Now I'm having second guesses about that plan, and I'm thinking I'm going to hold on to Wonder Woman just for a little bit here to see where the price actually sits. When the market finally opened after that 30 minutes after the drop, we saw Wonder Woman sitting around 310 gems. And I would have actually been pretty happy to get 300 gems for my Wonder Woman, and I may have actually listed my Wonder Woman right then and there. But I didn't get my Wonder Woman. It took a little bit longer to get it, about 15 minutes to 20 minutes after the market opened, and by that time it had already gone down to about 250, 230, 220, somewhere in around there. And at that price, I'm not too worried about flipping my Wonder Woman so fast. If it goes back up to the 300 range, I might think more about doing that. And so I really thought, when would be a right time to sell my Wonder Woman, because it isn't something that I'm gonna hold for the long term. And the reason why I'm not interested in holding it for the long term is that it's not an FA, it's not an FE, it has nothing attached to it that makes it stand out more than any other collectible. And really what I want to be collecting is that FA, or at least that FE in any series. Because it's my belief, and I don't think this is a controversial one, that FA and FE are going to be the most sought after collectibles on VeVe as the platform matures and as all these other licensors perhaps go to other platforms as well and start to create their own NFTs there. Or they create their own platforms for their own NFTs. Those first appearances, those first editions are always going to be the first. Everything after that is more noise in the system, and though they might come with their own stories and reasons why their prices might increase, Ultimately, FA and FE are the ones that I'm going to go after, and the ones that always have that tag with them. No other collectible will have that for that specific character. And that's why this CoverGirl Series 2 really didn't interest me. None of the characters in this series had that FA or FE. And Wonder Woman was that only one that we've only seen a second appearance that really stands out, because that initial appearance of Wonder Woman was a more cartoony version of Wonder Woman. We've already seen a Batgirl more realistic version. We've already seen a Superwoman more realistic version also in that CoverGirl Series 1. And Harley Quinn, it just seems like there's so many different Harley Quinns to choose from that this one is just another one in that whole Harley Quinn series. But now that I've had a chance to think about what I'm doing with my Wonder Woman, and I think that this one is going to be the most expensive in this series when it comes down to it over the long term, is that I'm going to hold on to it for a little bit and see how the price reacts over time. If I can sell it at 500 gems or more, I'd be more than happy to get away with that. I would definitely settle for somewhere in the 300s as well, but overall I'd say 500 is what I'm aiming for. So with no first edition, no first appearance tag on this Wonder Woman that's coming out in this CoverGirl series, I'm going to say it's going to sit somewhere around 250 to 500 gems in the aftermarket in the short term. But really what I'm gonna wait for is perhaps news that there's another Wonder Woman coming in another series. As soon as that news hits, I'm likely going to list my Wonder Woman right away. Because once there's a third Wonder Woman with no other FA, FE coming, this Wonder Woman just becomes another one in a growing list of Wonder Woman collectibles without that FA or FE. So without those tags, this one doesn't seem as important as a collectible to collect on VV if more Wonder Woman come into the system. So at that point, I would definitely exit my position of this Wonder Woman, hoping that it's 300 gems or more. And if it's below 300, I would take a look at other catalysts that might be coming down for Wonder Woman in terms of appearances in movies and TV shows in the near future to see if that would provide a catalyst for this specific Wonder Woman collectible to rise in price. And in addition to that, this is my next reason why I would exit my Wonder Woman position. If Wonder Woman does appear in a movie coming up for the DC universe, or in a TV show, or any news that comes out for Wonder Woman that will cause this price to increase, I'll likely take my profits and invest them into a collectible that I'm really interested in really wanting to add to my vault. So when it comes down to this Wonder Woman, I am super excited that I got another drop, and I'm super excited it was the exact collectible that I wanted in that series. And ultimately, this collectible does look really amazing. They did a really good job designing this and putting it together, and it just looks incredible. I definitely can't be disappointed that I got a drop in a series that I wasn't too interested in collecting, and I'm just excited that I got a collectible on the drop in any case, because drops are getting much more and more harder to get. And ultimately, this adds to my collection, and this adds to the value of my vault. So that's my game plan for my Wonder Woman. And I've also got other collectibles in my vault that I'm ready to sell when the time I think is right. These are also collectibles that I want to get off my plate before the news comes or the process is implemented to be able to withdraw your gems in some sort of fiat or cryptocurrency form. That's when I think the market is going to go down, and I want to offload my positions in collectibles that I'm not interested in holding in the long term. So not that I'm trying to time the market or anything, but I'm keeping track of these different events that'll cause prices to go up or down, and I'm making sure that I'm exiting my positions of collectibles that I'm not interested in holding for the long term at the right moment in time that I believe. These are just my thoughts, my theories. I'd love to know your thoughts, what I should do with Wonder Woman. Leave them in the comment section below. I'd love your input on any of this. Whether you agree, disagree, leave them in the comment section. And if you found this video helpful for any reason, give me a like. I would love that. Give me a like and subscribe if you want more from me and this VV universe. Thank you so much for watching.